Oh,
Good evening. You're welcome to the iTern training. My name is
thank you.
Femi Adikoki, and I'm going to be taking us through the first module of this training. Welcome to IT. The module
Thank you.
will last for 1 month, and we'll be looking at Linux administration and also some part of cloud system as well. The cloud platform we're going to be using is AWS, Amazon Web Services, and going to be 100% hands on, 100% hands on. If you have question at any point in time, please do not hesitate to ask. Don't bother using the icon
Okay.
on Zoom where you are expected to raise up your hand. Don't bother, just unmute yourself and ask your questions. As much as
Okay.
possible, let's try to reduce background noise so that you enjoy the class videos when you watch later on, because these classes are going to be recorded and they will be uploaded to YouTube, albeit privately. We upload them to YouTube, but it's for private view. That means they are locked to your emails. So you may have to sign into YouTube with the email you will give to me after the class. So because you have signed into YouTube, then you will now be able to view or watch these videos. If
Okay.
I do not have your email, you can't play the videos back. So although they are on YouTube, but they are private. Okay, so it's gonna be an interesting session. I would like us to keep a very open mind. Okay. By the way, do you have a CS background? Miss, you've not told me your name. I don't want to assume what I'm seeing here.
I'm sorry. My name is Dupe.
Okay.
Dupe Akindoju. Yeah, Mudupeola Akindoju.
All right.
So I graduated with computer science.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
I'm looking forward to move further.
interested. So I'm happy that
Yeah.
you have a computer science background already. So we might just skip
Yeah.
some parts to ensure that we spend time on the necessary parts. All right.
Okay.
However, because this is a recorded session, we might have uh, other people join us later on. We'll still breeze through this part so that when they watch the video, they will understand some of the things we are talking about, especially if they are not uh, affiliated to, or if they do not have any computer science experience before now. Introduction or overview of networking consists of two or more computers that are linked in order to share resources. Resources like printers, resources like fax machine, resources like the internet, okay. And they also exchange files or allow e-communications, okay. The computers on a network may be linked through cables. We have the conventional cables, telephone lines, radio waves, satellites, infrared, and these days is more of wireless, okay. Computers connected to a network are broadly categorized as servers or workstations. So that leads us to our next two themes. What are servers? What are workstations? Server is a piece of computer hardware, and that all there is it should have been and software both together. If the hardware does not have the server operating system running on it, it is just an ordinary metal. And also, if the server software does not have the hardware to embody it, then it is useless. Okay,
Yeah.
so it is both. Even now that we are in the era of virtual and cloud, the OS still needs uh, a hardware, and that's why we have data centers all around. Okay, so it's a piece of hardware and software that provides functionality for other programs or devices. Okay, so these other devices are called clients. The architecture client-server model, it runs continuously to provide different services to other computers. All right, and some of these services are what is listed here: printing and faxing, software hosting, file storage and sharing, messaging, data storage and retrieval, complete access control of the network resources, and other things. What then are workstations? Your computer, your keyboard, your mouse, your laptop, your touchpad. All right, these are workstations. Although these days, workstation has moved on to, it could be just an ordinary tablet you carry in the plane when you're traveling to another city. All right. And then our definition of workstation is quickly evolving to include those devices because of the ability to interact with network and the ability to use network services. Local area network is a network confined to a relatively small area. Remember, we are talking about networking also. What is LAN? When you have a connection of computers and devices, but they are within a small area, say in an office of less than 20 devices, or even a home. All right. It is generally limited to a geographical area such as school or building. You can establish lands logically. That means uh without having a physical demarcation. You can have land logically. You can have it virtually within a larger network. So let's say, let me let me use whiteboard. Okay, your computers, your laptop, printer in the office, or even fax machine. All right, and then probably the server here connected to, let's say, a switch. So server is connected to a switch. So it is from the switch that we now have distribution to these devices. All right. And you can even have a switch connected to a WLAN. And then this VLAN distributes broadcast network such that within the same places, mobile devices can connect wireless connections. You can even have workstations as well. So we are saying the whole of this is a what? LAN, local area network. Most times, if you cannot find facilities or devices like router, okay, then you should know it's also a LAN. Because at the point where you're having router, then you're now beginning to talk about internetwork, okay, between a network. So let's say this is a HSBC in New York, and you also have the one in Texas. You also probably have in Florida. Okay, this is a local area network here. Also a LAN here. Also a LAN here. That's why they are saying you can have LAN within a larger network. Okay, and this collection of all these LANs, most times, okay, is what gives us a wide area network, or what we call an enterprise. Beautiful. All right. Or corporate network. And at the entrance of these individual LANs, you have what we call router, where you configure your gateway systems. Okay, so because when you now begin to consider connection between two or more networks, then you need a router, okay, that controls what network enters or how they enter and what network leaves. Okay, I think that simply covers 4, 5. Soho small office, home office is more like a LAN as well. And we have very reduced, look at it. So networks are small LANs, okay? And this is a typical example of it, okay? So I can see Soho has router, okay? Because you now have to go to the internet. Because you will call this internet cloud a network. You will also call the all of these computers connection a network. So the moment there is need to leave your own network to go outside, you need a router. Okay, so small Soho is also a LAN, however, LAN that goes to the internet. You know, it is possible you have a local area network within your office, and it is an intranet. Internet whereby no interaction with the internet is just for connection within the office. Okay. And then you have a Soho with firewall. So it just means Soho that has a lot of security checks in place. Okay, I think this is similar to the one we drew. It has connection to WAP, wireless access points. Enterprise network refers to physical or virtual or logical connectivity infrastructure that enables system and applications to do all of this, to communicate, to share info, run services and programs, analyze system performance. All right. So I am a very hands-on person. I'm finding this plenty literature boring already. However, we're still going to uh, take a look at them before we jump into Linux practical. Network infrastructure. So I'll just be summarizing them. All of those resources that makes networking possible are called network infrastructure. And they are categorized into three: the hardware component, the software component, and the services component. Okay, so the hardware component of network infrastructure are those ones we can see and touch: the machine in front of us, the laptop, the desktop, the routers, the switches. Okay, the LAN card, wireless access card, the Ethernet cable. Those are the hardware component of networking infrastructures. Okay, routers are
Yes.
devices on the network that enables us to connect with with other networks. We're going to see along the line in class when we get to IP addressing, where what we call a route table. Okay, you would not need a router within a network, because within the network, all the computers are expected to communicate with each other because they will be on the same network path. However, when you want to go outside of the network, you need something that will translate your network IP address to be able to speak with other network IP addresses. So at that point, you need a router. However, if your communication is limited to your network alone, what you need is a switch. A switch will help you broadcast the management of the server systems. Okay, so switch can be thought of as a network controller. So they connect your devices and makes it possible for devices on the network to talk to each other. Okay.
Yes.
LAN card is a type of NIC, network access controller, the NIC card. So in those days, when we go to the cybercafe with our own personal laptops, they give us a special table as people that are special. And then you pick the cable, you plug it into your laptop. Within your laptop is what we call a LAN card, and that's where you are plugging that cable to. Okay, if that LAN card is not there, your cable is not able to supply you packet or data services, or if it is bad. So that LAN card is also vital. And all of these things that you are seeing here, computers, routers, switches, LAN card, wireless access points, LAN Ethernet cable, have now been virtualized. So the world is going virtual right now, that you will not need to set up a server by investing on plenty physical things. At the comfort of your office, you're going to launch a server and it will do exactly the same and more of what all of these things would have done if you have acquired a land, build on it, fortify it with plenty security features, then buy different server computers, install it, launch it, employ networking and IT engineers to be manning the server, and then you call it the server room. All of those traditional on-premise server administration or server provisioning are now being ditched for cloud. And when we get into AWS, we'll see how beautiful that is. So let's move on. We're talking about the components of network infrastructure, and we say there are three: hardware, software, and services. The software refers to the part where you cannot see, but you know they are running, like the operating systems. Okay. The OS is a software that acts as an interface between computer hardware components and the users. Like your firewall is a network security system that monitors and controls incoming and outgoing traffic. Like your network operations and management, these are tools designed to help network system administrators effectively manage the enterprise network. So these are the software components of networking infrastructure. We also have the third component, which are services, and it is not here, but they are services like IP address. Okay, you might be tempted to call them software components, but they are not. However, they are services that also enables you have your networking properly. Every device on the internet must have a public IP address, right?
Yes.
There are no IP address, that device is private. It cannot communicate with other devices on the internet. Neither can it be reached or reach out to other devices. So these are the three components of networking infrastructure. And then we are going to be seeing how the three of them play together when we get into cloud. But remember, we will not see any of this. Most of these components, not most, all of these hardware components have now been virtualized. Okay, virtualization. This is what is making the IT world go gaga right now. The process of running a virtual instance of a computer system in a layer abstracted from the hardware. Let me also use whiteboard now. This is your computer. And let's say it is running on Mac OS. Before virtualization technology, it is seemingly impossible to have Mac OS, and then you have other OS like Windows and Linux run on it. It's even seemingly impossible to have a Windows operating system, and then you have Mac OS running on it, even if you partition this. All right. But with the advent of virtualization technology, you can run what we call type 2 hypervisors on your computer. Type 2 hypervisors are software technologies virtualization technologies on your computer, irrespective of the underlying operating system. And this on this type 2 hypervisor, we enable you to run any other any other operating systems, and they will behave exact way of how a physical computer would have behaved. So I'm saying that if this is your computer and it is a MacBook, so the operating system is Mac OS, if you install a type 2 hypervisor on it, okay, that type 2 hypervisor will enable you to run many other virtual computers on this computer. And that virtual computer can be on the same or different operating systems as your host operating system. So let's say you are a developer or you are a program tester, okay, or you are a QA, and an application has been developed. You are meant to test it. Okay, it was developed for Mac OS, then the Linux and the Windows versions were developed. Before now, what would have happened is you will have 3 computers at your workstation. One running on Windows, the other running on Linux, the third running on Mac OS. Okay, and then you install this application on these 3 operating systems and you check out how they behave, or you do what you need to do with them. Okay, but now that you have this technology, type 2 hypervisors, if I run it on my computer with that type 2 hypervisor, I can have another computer that will be running on Linux. I can have another computer that will run on Mac OS. I can have another computer that will run on Windows. And those computers are independent of the original operating system of my laptop. All right. The only challenge will be is they are using the physical resources of my laptop. Physical resources like the RAM size and the hard disk or the storage size. Okay. But the operating system will not be hampered by the operating system of my laptop. Okay. Now, popular type 2 hypervisor softwares, the first one is Oracle VirtualBox, VB. Oracle VirtualBox. We also have Windows Hyper-V. Okay. And we also have another one called VMware. There are other ones, but these are 3 popular ones. Oracle VirtualBox, Windows Hyper-V, and VMware. Okay. Now that is when you want to virtualize locally. Locally, I mean on your own computer. Okay, so this ones will work with or without internet. Okay, and you can virtualize either server operating systems of these different OS or a client operating system. Do you know that Windows have the client OS and the server counterpart? Are you aware?
The Windows are what?
Windows OS, it has
Yeah.
the client OS and the server counterpart. The one everybody carry about on their computer is the Windows client. Okay.
Okay.
There are
Okay.
Windows servers that we used to have in the server room. Most people don't know. It has
Okay.
its own separate OS. That's where you have ADDS, Active Directory domain service. Okay. So these virtual boxes, these are type 2 hypervisors, or you call them software tech, or sorry, you call them virtualization technologies. They can run all kinds of operating systems on them. Yeah. And
Yes.
if time permits us, we might just do like few minutes. I'll just show you around, but the virtualization we will really want to use in this training is the one in cloud virtualization. And that one will always need internet. In fact, once you hear cloud, know that there's need for internet. Some things that is remote, which you have to reach via the internet. That is cloud. Okay. And that
Okay.
is going to be on AWS platform, Amazon Web Services. Okay. AWS is the founder of cloud computing. They have the largest share market, and it is wisdom that they are the one we are learning about. All right. Let's get back to here. Oh, hypervisors are here. So we have hypervisors type 1 and type 2. Remember I was telling you that type 2 hypervisors are the software, sorry, are the virtualization technologies. So let me quickly explain that as well. A computer is a hardware machine. And people think that the first thing that comes on your computer is an operating system. But that's not correct. The first thing that comes on the computer is a type 1 hypervisor. Are you with me?
Yes.
Type 1 hypervisor. I'm going to give you that document, by the way. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's a student copy. Type 1 hypervisor. It is also called a bare metal hypervisor. So the first thing that is being installed on a new computer, most time it's always installed by the manufacturer. Okay, so a Dell computer have its own type 1 hypervisor. HP, MacBook, they have their own type 1 hypervisors. And it is a low-level programming language. I mean, it is serious, not all this popular Python that they are pseudo English. No, it's a low-level programming language. And it is the first software that comes on your computer. In fact, it is the hypervisor that allows the operating system your computer will run on to communicate with the hardwares of your computer. All right. So when you press on your computer, either laptop or desktop, it is the type 1 hypervisor that enables your computer to realize that this is on. Okay. When you
Yes.
are installing operating system, maybe I have purchased HP notebook and I'm trying to install Windows on it. What enables my hardware to be able to communicate effectively with the Windows OS I'm about to install is this type 1 hypervisor. Okay. So
Yeah.
when I put in a flash drive or a memory stick to start installation, what enables my computer to understand that a memory stick has been inserted is type 1. What enables my computer to know that this is a keyboard that I am pressing figures or alphabet? Type 1 hypervisor. It is also why it's more reason why it's also called bare metal. Like it is the one that is directly installed on your computer. It is the one that tells your operating system, this is the screen, this is the mouse, this is
It's
the,
just like brain.
yep, exactly the brain. So it is on this bare metal hypervisor that you will now install your operating system, either Windows or Linux or Mac OS or Solaris or Android any operating system. It is on the bare metal. On this operating system is where you will now install every other applications. You want to install WhatsApp, you want to install CorelDRAW, you want to install Zoom, other applications comes on your operating system. And also type 2 hypervisors is installed on the operating system as well. And type 2 hypervisors, you have the Oracle VirtualBox, the Hyper-V, Windows Hyper-V, or Microsoft Hyper-V, and you have the VMware. Okay. Type 2 hypervisors are what we really call the virtualization technology, which now enables you to run other kinds of virtual machines, as many as the capacity of your computer can allow. So if I have a computer that has 1 terabyte and 16 gig RAM, it should be able to run more virtual machines than a computer that have 250 gig storage and 4 gig RAM. All right. So type 1 hypervisors called bare metal, they run directly on the laptop. It is on it that you install your operating system. Type 2 hypervisor run on the operating system. Let's get back to our notes. All right, look at it here. Type 1 hypervisor, bare metal or native hypervisors. Okay, and these are the different kinds you have. Microsoft Hyper-V, Oracle VMware, Power Hypervisors, QNX, VMware EXI, and type 2 are hosted hypervisors that abstract guest operating system. Look at it. They abstract guest OS from the host OS. Okay. The host OS is the original OS your computer is running on, and they abstract, meaning that they shield this OS from the other computer's operating system you run on that computer. Okay. Examples: VirtualBox by Oracle, VM Player, VMware by Windows. Okay. And Parallel Desktop for Mac. Okay. So on Mac, you can have parallel desktops. That means they can run on other operating systems. Look at type 1. This is your hardware. This is your type 1, then your OS. See your type 2, your hardware. Okay. Your type 1 has been under here. So you see that your type 2 hypervisors are installed on the OS, not on the hardware. All right. Okay. Cloud. I think we'll skip this because when we get into AWS in the next 2 weeks, we'll still discuss this as well. But
Okay.
basically, cloud means anything you can reach over the internet. All right. So 2 days ago, I was flying from Nigeria to Angola. I was returning to work, and I just remember the joke that I saw for non-computer science engineers, thinking that when you are in the cloud, you will be seeing computers that are hanging in the cloud because people tell them, I'm in cloud, I'm in cloud, I'm in cloud, all right? So cloud is
Mhm.
not what you see when you are about 35,000 feet up there. No. Cloud means something you access remotely over the internet. And for some reason, you may not even have to get to where those things are in one's entire life. Okay. So your Gmail account, your email account, people don't know they've always been in cloud because the server of those accounts does not reside in our house nor in anywhere that we know, but we know they are in a data center somewhere, right? So to everything we access over the internet, their hardware components are being held down in a data center somewhere. So it is safe to say that without data centers, cloud is impossible. All right? Without data centers, cloud is impossible. So when we get into cloud properly, we'll look at that. Virtualization versus cloud. Okay. So simply put, virtualization can make one resource act like many, while cloud computing lets different users access a single pool of resources. That's correct. Data center versus cloud. Data center is infrastructure and cloud is a service that runs on the infrastructure. That's correct. So without data centers, cloud is not possible. And here I say, welcome to Cloud Server Administration with Linux. So to excel as a DevOps engineer, which is what I assume uh, you are here for, not only to become a cloud admin, but further to become a DevOps engineer, one must have the knowledge of system admin, the skills of system administration. System admin are those that manages physical IT infrastructures or even cloud IT infrastructures. They configure laptops, applications, users and groups and all of that. Now we've chosen Linux as the system to study. Reason being that Linux has the largest market share of operating system for enterprise network. Okay, because every time I say this in class, trainees tend to contest it until I explain to them that it is for enterprise network. I'm not referring to the computer you are carrying about in respective homes or the one you take to your office. I'm saying for enterprise network, your offices, the mega corporations, their servers run on Linux or modification of Linux operating systems. Linux is light, it is stable, it is easy to handle and manipulate, and it provides beautiful features to manage other computers. So 75% of enterprise or corporate networks in the whole wide world, their servers run on Linux. And that's why it makes sense, because these are the corporate organizations you'll be working with that will study Linux operating system. And the next 2 weeks, with concerted efforts, these are all that we'll be learning under Linux operating system. Basic Linux command, user management, file permissions, packages, networking, and bash script. Is that okay? Have you ever worked with Linux system before?
Mm.
Yeah. So in the next 2 weeks, that's what we are going to be doing. And before now, we use serverless Linux. That means we use VirtualBox to install Linux. For now, the faculty lead has said we should go into cloud and teach Linux, so that trainees will begin to have the flair of cloud as soon as possible. And that's why we'll now go into AWS. But as we are going to AWS now, what we want to go and do is to use the Linux on AWS and not to learn AWS yet. After 2 weeks, we'll begin to learn about AWS. So there are some details as we are going to AWS now that I will skip. I will only show us how to get into Linux operating system on the AWS platform so we can use it to learn. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right, so come with me to your browser. Before now, do you have an AWS account?
No. Amazon accounts, I think I have. Please hold on.
Amazon is different from AWS. The one where you buy
Okay.
and sell, that's Amazon.
Okay.
Okay, so AWS have the one that is basically uh for cloud
I,
computing.
yeah, I don't have it.
Okay, is your computer up?
Yes.
Is that the one you're using to connect to this Zoom meeting?
No, I'm using the phone.
Okay. All right, let's see how this is going to be possible by using, just give me a moment.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go to your browser, open a tab. Are you with me now?
Please hold on.
All right.
This recommendation.
Okay, sir.
You ready?
Yes.
So let's go to Google on your browser and then type AWS sign up. So AWS will give you 1 year free usage on some selected services. Okay. And on some selected services as well, there is forever free usage. Okay. So if you will be compliant for the next 1 year, you may not be charged 1 cent. However, if you fail to do the needful, you might wake up one morning and realize that you've been charged $2 here, $4 here, few cents here and there. So is this what you have? Because I know
Yes.
so can you click on sign up for a free AWS account?
Okay. I'm there.
Coming. All right. Create a free account. Did you see create a free account?
Yeah.
Okay, so you might not be seeing this on your own because from my own side, I have an account already.
Okay.
Or hold on for me. Let me open a new tab. Sorry, a new browser that I've not signed in on the account before so that we can be on the same page. Okay. AWS sign up. What's all of this? Okay. Let me change this to English. Okay. Create a free account. Okay, is this what you have on your page as well? Have you seen where to
Yeah,
sign
it's
up?
showing. Yeah, I've signed up. I've already pressed the sign up now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you should see where it is asking for your root.
For email address.
Yes, so just fill all of those. How is it going?
Yeah, I'm creating the password.
All right. Have you verified your email address?
Yes.
Okay. So you are the page where it's asking for details, right?
For the yes.
And then after that, probably we ask for your credit card and
Okay.
might be charged $1. They will just
Okay.
temporarily hold $1 to confirm if the credit card you supplied is your own. They will return it shortly after. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you're done, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me pause the recording here so we don't
Okay, sir.
unnecessarily spam the video. All right. So now that you are signed in, you are here, console home, and probably there's nothing here in your own part. Okay, but that's because your account is new, your account is fresh. As you visit places within your AWS account, this recently visited will be getting populated.
Okay.
Now, the service of Amazon Web Services that allows you to run servers in cloud, or as AWS calls it, virtual instances. That service is EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud. You will not see this bookmark bar in your own because you've never created it. Okay. So click on services here. Can you see my mouse, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. Click on services.
Done.
Scroll down to compute. Look at compute here.
Okay.
If you click on compute, you will see EC2, virtual servers
Okay.
in cloud. Okay.
Okay.
If you
Yes.
take your mouse towards the left-hand side, you will see a star.
Yes.
Click on that star. It means you want to bookmark it.
Okay.
Can you now see a bookmark bar showing on a bookmark bar like this showing, but it will only have EC2 there. Do you have
Yes.
it?
Yes.
So you know it is now easy to navigate to EC2 once you have a bookmark bar instead of coming to services, going to compute and all of that. So now click on that
Okay.
EC2. EC2 means Elastic Compute Cloud. All right. And like I
Yes.
said earlier, we are on AWS platform now. You want to use it to learn Linux, not to learn the AWS platform. Okay,
Okay.
after 2 weeks when we are done with Linux, we'll be learning the AWS platform properly. So why I'm saying that is there are some things that you will see. I won't talk about them now because that's not why we are here.
Okay.
I'll just show you how to set up a server, a Linux operating server and then we'll connect to it and we'll begin to learn every other thing you need to know. When we get to AWS properly, I'll show you. Is that
Okay.
okay? All right.
Yes.
Now, this Linux servers we want to spin up. Remember, you have 1 year free tier. So your account is free for 1 year. However, it is limited. And one of these you're about to do is part of the limited ones. If you follow our guide, you will not be charged. But if you forget one or two things, or you go outside of the guidance, you may be charged. EC2 is a server in cloud. AWS has given you 750 hours every month for free. So if we launch an instance now for free, 750 hours in a month, by the time we enter into next month, another 750 hours. So it means if by chance you launch 3 instances, you know that 750 hours for 3 instances is not 750 hours for 1 instance. 750 hours we quickly finish for 3 instances. And then you will be billed or you'll be charged. So the summary of all this story is this. While you are in class or outside of class when you are practicing, when you are done practicing all that we've learned, and you do a lot of practice, I mean, I always encourage trainees, whatever is practical, the more practice you do, the more you know. The more you know, the more your confidence is. The more your confidence is, you are ready for jobs out there. When you're done practicing, please do not forget to terminate whatever instance you have launched.
Okay.
So let's say we are in class now for 3 hours. You launch an instance, you run for like 1 hour, 30 minutes, and then you terminate it. That means out of 750 hours you have, now 1 hour, 30 minutes is gone. You want to practice again, maybe some other time, you do it yourself, you practice for like another 3 hours. When you are done, you terminate it. That's 1 hour, 30 minutes plus 3 hours. Okay.
Mm.
If you do it that way in a month, you won't be charged at all.
Okay.
But if you forget to terminate and you leave your instances running, you know it is in cloud. Even when you close your computer and you shut down, your instances will still be running, if you don't terminate it. And those hours will begin to count. So you might wake up one day and see the notification that you've used up to 80% of your free tier. And you are just in the second week of the month.
So that
Okay.
terminate is for me to log out.
No, I will show you how to terminate
Okay.
instance. It's not,
Okay.
if you launch an instance and you log out of your AWS account, if you sign out, that
Mhm.
instance will still be running.
Okay.
But I will show you how to terminate. I'm only telling you early now so that you can avoid being charged.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start. Are you on this screen?
Yes.
So look at launch instance here. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Click on launch instance and click on launch instance again.
Okay. Done.
Okay. So let's give name to our instance we're about to launch. I'll call my own iTern server. on my own iTern server. I'm coming back to explain the different distribution of Linux. Well, let's select one now. Select Amazon Linux. This is a distro of Linux. Can you see this? Hello, can you hear me?
Amazon Linux. Yeah.
Yeah, so click
Amazon
on Amazon
Linux.
Linux, okay? Then scroll down. Instance type. If you click on that arrow on instance type, you will see different instance types. So you might want to be asking, what's an instance type? What's Amazon Linux? These are the things I say that when we get into AWS proper, I will explain. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So that we don't waste time. Okay. Okay, let me just do those ones because they are just basic. I wouldn't want you to wonder too much. What we are saying here is we want to buy a laptop. We want to buy a computer. But the computer we are buying is not the physical one. Or okay, let me not use buy. We want to set up a computer. But the one we are setting up is not a physical one, it's a virtual computer. That's why you are seeing here. Amazon EC2 allows you to create virtual machines on instances that will run on the AWS cloud. So you know that your computer, the one in front of you, has a name. Maybe Dupe's computer or mommy's workstation. All right. So we've given it a name here. iTern server.
Okay.
And then the computer you have is running on an operating system, isn't it? Are you using Windows or MacBook?
Windows.
So this is the same thing we are doing here. We are selecting which operating system this computer we're about to set up will run on. And we select it to run on what? Amazon Linux. There are other operating systems. Look at Mac OS here. Look at Windows OS here. Okay. But I said that in this module, we will learn about Linux. Why? 75% of corporate network in the whole world, they run on Linux operating system. Mega corporations. Okay. So that's why we're learning Linux. And Linux has different distributions. Take it as a Mercedes-Benz. Okay. You know, Mercedes-Benz has different versions. They have the V-Boot, the Benz 230, they have the Formatic, they have the GLK. So also Linux. Linux operating system has different distributions, which we call distro. So you have the Amazon Linux. That means Amazon itself has its own kind of Linux. We have the Red Hat Linux. We have the Ubuntu Linux. Okay, so the computer we want to set up, we run on Linux operating system. Which kind of Linux? Amazon Linux.
Amazon.
Beautiful, that's what you're saying. Now the instance type here, you know when you want to buy a computer, you ask around, what's the storage size? They say 500 gig. What's the RAM size? They say 4 gig. Okay, all of this one, this is what you see at instance type here. Okay, so this computer we're about to set up, what is the instance type that we are going to have? Look at it here. It is different instance types. Okay. The ones you did not see free tier in front of it, if you select them, that means you're going to be charged. That's the meaning.
Okay.
That means you're going to be charged. Look at all these plenty ones you see. See this one. It will have 2 virtual CPUs and it will have 4 gig RAM. Okay. But the one we are going to be using is the free tier, and that is T2 Micro. It has 1 virtual CPU, and it has 1 gig memory. That's 1 gig RAM. Okay, let's move on. Look at key pair. Are you here?
No.
Okay, so where are you now? Instance type.
Yes, I just choose one now.
Which one did you select? T2
I
Micro.
select no G2 micro.
Please select T2 Micro, the one that has free tier eligible in front. T2 Micro. Can you see my screen? Can you
I
hear
saw
me?
one that has free tier eligible, but it's not C2 micro.
What's the name?
They just wrote AM high and some numbers.
No, okay, you're not in free. Are you in application OS or you are in instance type?
On Amazon Linux on it.
Okay, so have you clicked on Amazon Linux? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Look at my screen.
Yes, I clicked on it.
If you click on Amazon Linux like this,
Mm-hmm.
is it Linux 2023 AMI?
2023. Yes.
So then leave that and scroll down. We are here now. Instance type.
Okay.
Okay, do you have Zoom on your computer?
Yes, I have it.
So connect with Zoom. Let's make it simple.
Okay.
So you can share your screen. I'll make you a co-host, then you can share your screen. Disconnect from the one you're using currently and connect from your computer.
Okay.
Okay, so under the key pair, it says we can use key pair to securely connect to our instances. So there's something we call SSH. It means secured shell, which enables us to remotely access a Linux or any operating system. Okay, so this key pair is more like a password that we'll be using to securely connect to our server when it is up. Okay, so it will create 2 keys. That's what is called a key pair. Amazon will store the public key and then it will allow you download the private key. So anytime you want to log in into, anytime you want to connect from the back end, or anytime you want to SSH, remember I said SSH means secured shell, SHELL. Anytime you want to securely access your server remotely, it will request for this key pair you're about to create now. Now, this is a common mistake for new trainees. They create new key pair every time they are launching an instance. So by the time they have launched 30 instances within 2 weeks, they have 30 new key pairs. No. Once you create a key pair, you can always use that key pair, at least as a beginner. When you get to advanced level, you will naturally know when you need different key pair for different servers. So what I'm saying now is this key pair you want to create is enough for your entire practice in this month. Okay, don't create new key pairs when you are creating each instance. Remember this instance now, after this class, you will terminate it. When you want to practice, you come again and launch a new instance. In fact, it will not take you up to 45 seconds to launch an instance. It is taking us this much time because it's our first time and I'm trying to explain some things. So if you click on that arrow beside select, you will see nothing is there because you don't have any yet. So subsequent times, by the time you create one now, that's where you will now click and launch an instance. Sorry, and select a key pair. But for now, click on the create new key pair. Yes. So give your key pair a name like class underscore KP or training or practice underscore KP or any name you want to give it. Okay.
Is that okay?
Oh, yes. If that's what you want to call it, let's go down. Okay. So leave it at RSA, leave it at .pem. .pem is the format of the SSH agent we're going to be using. So create key pair. Okay, let's scroll down. Okay, so before we move on, it should allow you download the key pair. Is it showing any download anywhere? Can you hear me?
No.
You should download something. Look around your laptop. Is your firewall not blocking anything? You should be. The moment you clicked on create key pair, you should have downloaded it somewhere. Are you
Is it
sharing?
launch instance?
No.
No.
Are you sharing your entire screen?
Yes, everything.
Okay. Look at that download icon beside your browser. Go towards the upper, take your mouse to your upper right corner of your screen. Go up. I think, I hope the zoom, whatever, is not blocking it though. Do you have any zoom panel on your
Yes.
screen?
It's up here.
Can you drag it down? You will,
Seeing it.
you will drag it back, but do you see
Okay.
one arrow
Like
facing
this.
down?
This one.
Yes, exactly. Click on that.
Okay. Yeah, this one.
Aha,
Class
so remember
semester.
I tell you that it's going to be downloaded somewhere, so that's it.
Yes.
So
Okay. I should
anytime,
click on it.
no, don't click on it. I'm just showing you. So
Okay.
anytime we need to SSH into our server, this is
Okay.
the key pair you're going to be using. Because you can drag your icon back and let's continue. So scroll down now. All right, scroll down. Okay, so again, we will create a security group, which we're going to be using just as key pair. You don't have to be creating security group every time you want to launch an instance. The one we are going to create now should be enough. Okay. So
Okay.
subsequent times, when you get to firewall security group, instead of using create security group, you come and check, select existing security group. And the one we are about to create now will show. Is that okay?
Yes.
So scroll up a bit. Click on edit. Okay, now scroll down. So security group name, put a name there. You might want to put class_SG. See where they have security group name. That where they put launch wizard. Click on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so change it to maybe class_SG or whatever name you want it to be. Okay, let's scroll down. Under description, let's put a name, say for general class practice. Okay, let's scroll down. So you know what they call ports, right? Different protocols as their ports. For a browser, HTTP, the port is 80. Remember, I've been saying SSH, secured shell, secure shell, the port is 22. So your
Okay.
security group is like a firewall that determines who is able to connect to your server, to your instance, or who is not able to connect. And if they're able to connect, which port will they use? Is it HTTP browser port or SSH secure shell port? So on this security group class SG that we're about to connect, we are saying, let us allow this port SSH port 22, and the connection can come from anywhere. That's why you have source type anywhere. And then the source will be, you see 0.0.0.0/0.
Yes.
That's a CIDR. When we get to what's it called now? When we get to IP address, I'll tell you more about CIDR. But when you see that kind of CIDR, 0.0.0 CIDR 0 means anywhere or everywhere or anonymous. That means anybody can connect. So let's scroll down. We will come back and later add port HTTP when we begin to learn about packages. So the only port we are allowing to connect to our server now is SSH. All right, configure storage. They said what kind of hard disk drive? No, that's not the appropriate word. What kind of storage? Because a storage can either be HDD, hard disk drive, or SSD, solid state drive. So what we are saying now is your computer, what's the size of the storage? Is it 500 gig or 1 terabyte? But remember I said Linux is a very light operating system. It does not need so much heavy storage. And by default, they've put 8 gig here. You can increase it to 10, you can increase it to 15. But can you read what they've put under it?
You mean the free tier eligible customers can get up to
So the
30
moment
gig?
you put 31, know that you have trespassed. You'll be charged for the
Okay.
extra 1 gig. So that's why I said if you follow guidance, you won't be charged. So this storage now, you can either leave it at 8 gig or leave it at 10 or 20, but ensure you do not go beyond the free tier, which is what? 30 gig.
30.
All right, so let's scroll down. Let's leave it at 8 gig. So every other thing we'll learn when we get into AWS. So click on launch instance now. So just like that, you have launched your first server in cloud. If the operating system we selected were to be Windows, by the time you connect to the Windows backend, you will be seeing exactly how your Windows will look like on this screen.
Okay.
But now, what you will see is I/O interface, which is your command line interface, input, output. So see that instance ID, that alphanumeric thing in blue. Please click on it.
This one.
Yes. So you see,
Okay.
it says your ITern server is now running. Okay. So check it. Click on that checkbox. The one beside ITern server. That box towards your left. Yes. Check
This
it.
one.
No. See ITern server. The box to the left hand side. Yes. Check it.
Okay.
Then click on connect. You might want to look around first to scroll down and see. You see that your server has a public IP address. So if you want to browse for it, can you see the public IP address?
Yes.
So we'll get to the point where we'll promote our server to a web server and we can browse for it. Okay. But let's just
Okay.
go gradually.
So
So
it created the IP address by itself.
yes,
Oh,
yes. There are two IP addresses actually, public
yes.
and private. Okay. If I
Okay.
want to browse for your server now, it is in fact, click on that copy icon behind the public IP address.
This.
No, the copy icon.
Okay.
Yes. Go to your browser, open a new tab. Paste the icon and paste the IP address and hit enter. Let's see what it will tell you. I don't expect it to be reachable because we've not done anything. But it's
Okay.
just to show you that it is a public IP address.
Okay.
All right.
Still with them. Yes.
Okay, so this
Thank
is
you.
Cambridge, but very soon it will become reachable. So let's go back to our instance type.
Okay.
Click on that instance ID. See instance ID beside your name, the instance name. ITern server, then the instance ID where you check the other time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the instance ID is the one next to it.
Okay.
Can you see that it is written on top,
Yeah.
instance ID?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
so let's click on that. Okay, so let's connect. Click on connect. So if I want to remotely connect to your server, or you yourself want to remotely connect to your server using any of the SSH agents, all right? The three things you will need. Look
Okay.
at your public IP address. Look at the username, EC2 user, and then that key pair that you downloaded. Do you get?
No.
Three things you will need for you to SSH into your server.
Okay.
Your public IP address, the username, take note of that thing that is written in that username, EC2-user,
Okay.
and then the Yes, the public key file. Remember you created the key pair,
Yes.
and I said the AWS will store the public one, and you will download the private one. So when we get to the part where we're going to be SSHing into our servers, you will see that. But right now we can connect to it from this browser. So scroll up, scroll up,
Okay.
scroll up.
Okay.
Is there any other thing? Nothing here. Okay, scroll down. Absolutely. Okay, see connect. You're going to need a mouse, an external mouse, to make your life easier. I notice
I
you're
actually
using
have
your.
it.
Oh, okay.
Let me connect it. Yes.
It will make you work faster.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this screen? This is an input-output screen. It is called command line interface.
Okay.
So this is a command line interface. This is the screen we are coming to. So all those things we've been doing that I said I wouldn't talk about, which we eventually talked about, is to come here
Yes.
and learn about Linux operating system. So for the next 2 weeks, this is going to be our environment. Okay. So click to where you have that $sign. Aha. Type PWD and hit enter. What is it telling you?
EWD.
PWD. P for pass, yep, hit enter. Okay, so it's telling you print working directory. PWD means print working directory. Okay. And it's showing you the current directory where you are. That first slash is called root, then home, then EC2 user. All of this we're going to be learning in the next 2 weeks and more. Okay. So now that you are here, I'm taking back my screen so I can get to where you are as well. All right. Can you see my screen here?
Yes.
So the key pair here, you created new one. I already have, so I drop down select and I'll pick the one which I already have. Are you following?
Yeah.
Okay. Under security group that you created new one, I already have. So what I'll do is I'll check, select
Exist.
existing one, and I'll drop down. Out of the existing ones I have, I'll just use one. So you only have one, which is a class
That's
underscore
understood.
SG.
Okay.
That one is
Yes.
sufficient for you for now. Okay. As we move
Yes.
on, you will know others. So what you have here is whether there is advanced, but when we get into AWS, you'll be learning all of that. So let me also launch my instance. So if I launch my instance, I come to my instance ID as well. Okay, I'm trying to connect. I don't know why my network is slow. Okay, it's finally here. iTern server. If I check it and I click on connect, so my own username here is saying root, but okay, let's just hold on. I think my network is having one or two challenges. So classes will be 3 hours. After the first 1 hour, 30 minutes, we're supposed to go for break. Okay. But because I was trying to show you
Okay.
something on your computer,
Yes.
I didn't want to break the flow. So
Okay.
after now, we'll go for 10 minutes break to come back and complete the 3 hours. I just want to get my screen to where you are as well, so
Okay.
we know we're on the same page. So I think this is where the two of us are now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
That's
when we
right.
come back, beautiful. When we come back from break, we'll now go back and discuss a bit on Linux,
Okay.
and then we'll come back here and learn 1 or 2 basic commands. Okay. Or even before we come back here, we'll download 1 or 2 SSH agents. I think that's the better thing to do, because if we keep connecting from our browser like this, remember this is a browser. I
Yes.
have other tabs here. Okay. You also can have other tabs. Maybe you want to go to the
Okay.
market and whatever. What that means is this is a browser. We are connecting from a browser.
Mm.
Other things will be interfering with our session. This is a session, interface session we're about to run. Okay.
Okay.
Other things will be interfacing.
Yeah.
So there's what we call SSH agent. Is a dedicated connector that we would download that will help us to connect to this is the back end of our server. You know what I mean by back end? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Yeah, so this is the back end. I think my server is becoming slower. So this is the back end of our server.
it is within controlling it,
Yes.
right?
So see that again?
Hello?
Please, I can hear you.
Yes, I said like the controller, like what you use in controlling the server.
Exactly, yes. That's the back end. That's where you begin to manipulate the server. So we are doing it from a browser, but I'm saying if you use it from a browser, other things will interfere. At times it will even hang. Okay. So
Okay.
that's why when
Yes.
we come back from break, I'll show you about 2 or 3 SSH agents we can be using to remotely connect to our instance. So as long as the server is running here under instances, okay, you can connect. See, it is running. Okay, so if
Yes.
you leave this thing now and sign out, it will still be running. No?
Okay.
Don't think if you sign out it has gone. No. What I mean by terminating is, let's say we are done with this server now. Everything we want to learn. You check this server here,
Okay.
instance state. You drop it down and
And
terminate.
then mm,
You either stop or terminate. If you stop,
okay.
they will still charge you, but it will be small. But if you terminate outrightly, they will calculate the number of hours you have used. They will remove it from 750 hours.
Okay.
And then when you start it again, they will start counting. And by the end of the month, the remaining hours is gone. They give you another fresh 750 hours for a new month. Like that for 12 months.
Okay.
Okay. So if you
Yes.
do not go outside of the guidance of free tier, you will not be charged. Okay. So it is possible that you even use within 750 hours. But the storage you attach to this server, you go beyond 30 gig, they will charge you for that storage. They will not charge you for the server. Okay. So at every point in time, I'll be guiding us on how to stay within the free tier. Okay. And one of it is, once you are done practicing, terminate. Don't forget, when you are launching an instance, don't use beyond the storage that is allowed. Okay. So let's go for 10 minutes. We're gonna make a break. Please walk about, stretch, drink water if you need to.
Okay, sir.
When we come back in 10 minutes, we'll come and finish up to make
sir.
3 hours. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Continue. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, let's continue. So far we've been able to set up a AWS account, and we've launched our first server, and it's running on Linux, and that's where we are coming to begin to learn one or two things on Linux. And what is it that we are learning? All of this. Okay, so we've passed all these stages, right? This is where we are. Next thing we want to do is learn how to log into our instances from any of these three. This instance connect, which is direct, assuming you are using macOS, but these three is what I will show you: mobile, extern, PuTTY, and Themios. Okay, then when we connect with that, we can now begin to learn some basic some basic Linux commands. Okay, what I thought I will even show you is here in the notes. That makes it easier to learn. Beautiful. So let's start with mobile extern. I think I already make you a co-host. Please share your screen.
Okay.
Because I already have these things on my own system. So it's better I show you from your own screen. Okay, please go to your browser, go to Google.
Yeah.
Are you using Zoom Internet at the moment?
Zoom up.
Okay, better. I was gonna say Zoom up is better. So please go to Google.
Yeah. So Chrome. Yes, I'm there.
I can't see, all I'm seeing is Zoom.
Oh, I'm coming, please. Yeah.
Okay, so click a new tab. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Now, why are you using Yahoo as your search engine? Why not Google? Okay, so go to Google anyway. Then type download mobile extern. MOBA. Yeah, look at it. Do you even have it before? Oh, this is a general Google search. All right.
Mobile
Yes.
extern. Okay.
Yes, that one.
Okay. This
Click
one.
on the, yes. The home edition, scroll down. Download. Have you clicked on download?
Yes, it's still loading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the portable edition. Let's see that. Okay.
So for the AWS, it doesn't have a app. We just have to go to Chrome and log in from
Yes,
there.
you
Okay.
have to go through the browser. There's no have an app. Okay, so click on the downloaded folder.
Yeah.
Open it or go to your download folder. You may not open from here. Open your or show all downloads. Look at show all downloads. Okay, show
Okay.
in folder. As the folder opened,
Yeah, it's showing compressed folder.
I can't see. You're
Oh,
not sharing your download folder.
are you seeing it?
Okay, yeah, so right click.
Yeah.
No, don't open it. Right click on
Okay.
it.
Let's click. Okay. Yeah.
Extract all.
Extract.
I'm not seeing your screen. Can you share the entire of your screen so that I'll be able to see when it shows you a new window? As long as you don't go beyond what you're showing at the moment, I will not be able to
Okay.
see other things. Yeah. So click on share screen and you should see screen. Don't select any
Okay.
window, just screen. All right.
Okay.
So, okay, extract. So click on the,
This one.
yes, double click, it should run.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a mobile extern. This is mobile extern.
Okay.
Did it create any icon on your desktop for you?
Let me check.
Okay. Cancel the compressive folders, blah, blah, blah.
No, it's not that.
It's not there. Okay, let's go back to your browser. No, not the mobile extern, your browser. Let's see if we can have an installer session. Go back to mobile tab.
Yeah.
No, the mobile tab. Beside this download, still on your browser. This is the mobile window. The tab on your browser, the one for mobile. Exactly. Let's click on the installer edition. Let's see. Okay, so go to your download folder now. Look at that folder beside it, that folder icon beside it. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Right click. This is zipped as well. Extract all. Extract, yes. Okay. Hold on, before you install, look at the mobile external window that is on your menu bar. Close it.
Which one?
The one on your menu bar.
This one?
Yes. Close it first.
Okay.
Okay, now let's install this one. Let's see if it's going to put, just double click on it. No, that's not the one. The one under it. Yes. Okay, so.
Next.
Yep. Accept. Okay. Yeah. So this should keep an icon for you on the desktop. Finish.
Done.
Let's see your desktop.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, so go to your, you can delete all of this from your download. You don't need them anymore.
Okay.
Okay, so can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so let's minimize this.
Hello, I can hear you.
Okay. I mean, go to your download folder.
Okay.
So that you don't keep unnecessary files. Go to your download folder. Look at your file explorer on your menu bar. Okay. No, this is your, minimize this screen.
I've done that.
Click on your file explorer on your menu bar. That thing that looks like a folder. That's your file explorer. Yep.
This.
Yes. So from here, you can connect any folder in your system. You see all the folders you have running?
Yes.
Okay, go to the one of download. In fact, close all this one except the file explorer. Let's put some, I don't want you to be keeping,
everything.
yes, except the file explorer.
Yeah.
Okay, so click on the File Explorer now. Download. See download. Yep. Can you maximize? So everything mobile extern, delete them. I don't want you to be keeping unnecessary files on your PC so it doesn't slow it down. Why not check all and delete at once?
Okay.
You hold down the control. Hold down the control keyboard. All right. Beautiful.
That's all.
Yep. You wouldn't need them again.
What?
I said you would not need them again, so there's no point
Okay.
keeping.
Okay.
Beautiful. So let's go back to your desktop now. Mobile extern. So we're about to connect to your first session. Can you maximize?
Okay.
Answer this one first. Cancel. Okay.
Which one?
I thought it was showing you X server connect. Anyway, let's move on. Which one do you prefer, the light or the dark
Light.
screen? All right, let's go. So, sessions, click on sessions. SSH. SSH means secured shell. Okay, so go to your browser and copy the public IP address of that server that we launched. Look at the public IP. Have you seen it?
Yes, this.
Yeah, please copy it. Then paste it in that mobile extern remote host.
Yeah.
Remember I told you you will need this. Yes. Paste it. Okay. Check that specify username. Check it first.
Okay.
Okay. Go to your browser. Let me show you. I was showing you the other time, but you might not copy. I'm using the username now. EC2-user. So go and type it in.
Okay.
It might not allow you to copy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is too.
EC2-user everything together. Okay, look at that port. That's the default port for SSH, port 22. So leave it
Yeah.
as it is. Advanced SSH settings. The first of the 4 tabs. Click on the advanced SSH settings. Okay, check on use private key.
Use private key. Yeah.
Check it. Beautiful. Then in front of it, that thing that looks like a white paper. Yep. That icon. Click on it. Now browse for where you have your private key file that you downloaded. It's inside your download folder. Go to download. Look at it by your, yeah, look at downloads.
Yeah.
Yep. See your key pair there.
This one.
Yep. Open.
I should open.
Uh-huh. and then click OK. So if everything is good, accept, you should be able to connect to our server's backend. Beautiful. So you see that what you have here is the same
Yes.
as what you have on your browser. Okay, and why we are using this is because mobile exam is designated for just SSH, no interferences. This is like an app, all
Okay.
right? But on your
Yes.
browser, there will be interferences that might slow down what you're doing. And when I mean slow down, you may not understand now until you get to, the higher we go, the advanced it becomes. By
Yes.
the 4th month, you will know what I mean by slow down. You'll be frustrated. So you don't need anything to even interfere with what you are doing. So you can run your browser, let whatever wants to interfere. But here with your mobile exam,
Okay.
everything is good. So what we've done here is I've shown you one of the 3 SSH agents. You have mobile exam. This one we only run on Windows. The one I want to show you next is Temios. Temios will run on both Windows. It will run on Mac OS. It will also run on Linux OS. So let's go back to our browser now. And then a new tab, download Temios.
TE.
RMIUS.
Yes.
Okay.
This one?
No, that is antivirus software guide. Why are you using Yahoo as your search engine? Why not Google?
I think my husband said it like that.
Oh, okay. That one is going to be Yahoo. Can you see Yahoo logo in front of it? So come
Yeah.
and type it inside Google.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, beautiful. So look at that. Scroll down. Download. Yep. So fast. So click on the folder. It's already installing.
Yes.
So there are some employers that will say we prefer you to use Temios to SSH into our servers. Some will
Okay.
say we prefer you to use mobile extern. That's why we normally show trainees all the 3. Okay. Click on start setup. Okay. Let me see. Connect from desktop, connect from server, connect from devices only. Skip this part. Can you skip it?
No.
See skip by
Okay. Skip
the
is there. Yeah.
uh-huh. Uh assistant skip. Skip. You prefer light, select light. Continue. Okay. I already have an account login. Do you have your Gmail account? Use it to sign
Yes.
in.
Okay, sign up.
Yep. Fire hydrant. There are still some remaining. Oh.
Okay.
No, that's not a fire hydrant. Okay, that one is
Okay.
the first two at the top. As it was clicking, it was showing you other ones.
Yes.
Okay, that one again. I think it has. Oh, is that one there? I can't
I
see
think that's
clearly.
all.
Okay, let's check now. Oh, beautiful, done. So this is another SSH agent you can use
Okay.
to connect securely. So click on new host.
New posts.
Have you seen new host?
No, only
Up,
create.
up is up.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So we have to
So
move to the IP here.
public exactly.
Okay.
No, look at the address by your right hand side. Go to the
Okay.
right hand side, yeah.
Okay.
Put it. Paste the IP address.
Yeah. I'm trying to right click. Maybe I should copy again.
You just Control C or
All right.
Control V rather when you copy.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to give it a name, the label? If you don't want to, come to where you have username under SSH.
SSH. Yeah, the username.
Yes. No. Look at where you've been typing EC2 user. Complete that one first. And go and remove the one you put at the address.
Yeah.
Okay. User. Okay. Set a key. Click on set a key.
Any key?
Set a key. Click on set a
Okay.
key. Okay, new
Okay.
key. Yes. Private key. Click on import from key file.
Import from key file.
Yes. So locate your,
Downloads.
yes.
This.
Open.
Okay.
All right. Save. Save. Okay, so look at the what looks like a plug beside that new host towards the right hand side. Or save it first. Look at top right corner of your Terminus window. All changes saved. Good. Click on it first. Have you clicked?
Yes.
Towards the left of it, you will see an icon that looks like a plug. The left side of it. Yes, click on that. Add and continue. Can you see?
Yes.
So put print working directory.
I should put what?
Print working directory, PWD. All right, now continue, hit enter. All right, so you've seen how to connect from mobile XTAM. You've seen how
Yes.
to connect from Themios, okay?
Yes.
After the class, you can go to your download folder and delete the Themios installation file. You don't need it again.
Okay.
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 Oh, by the way, let's see your desktop. If it has created the icon for you there.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't want us to use the whole of today installing. Let's
Okay.
go talk about Linux. In our next class, I'll show you how to install PuTTY. Okay, it is simple as well, but it has too many clicks. So today, I'm taking back my screen so I can also show you my own. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So what have we done? We've done this. This is Themios. All right. We've done mobile XTAM as well. Okay. Even engineer Akin did not put PuTTY here, but I will show you PuTTY still. Okay.
Okay.
So Linux is an open source operating system. Open source means that there's no company that lays patency or whatever on it. Unlike Windows, it is owned by Microsoft. Unlike Mac OS, it is owned by Apple. Those ones are closed source. All right.
Yes.
But Linux is an open source, meaning that anybody can take it, use it however you want to use it, as long as you're not using it for fraud or for cybercrime. Okay. I won't bore you with all this plenty news. We just go into the details. A Linux system is divided into three main parts. The hardware, which is the one you can see and touch, but that one no longer exists. It exists actually. There are laptops that run on Linux, so like computer laptops, like as your Lenovo is running on Windows, as some people's Mac OS is running on MacBooks running on Mac OS, as my HP is running on Windows. Some people's HP is running on Linux.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not just common, all right? And
Yes.
not that they are using it for enterprise, so like their personal use. They just prefer because it is light and it is easier to, especially for techies that like command line interface, CLI. Okay.
Yes.
So it has that. Then it has the kernel. Kernel is the main component of a Linux OS and is the interface between the hardware and its processes. Okay. It communicates between the two and it manages resources as efficient as possible. So it is the kernel that allows your input and output to connect with the processes on your Linux. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's move on. Linux distributions. There are different distros of Linux. So when I say distro, what I'm saying is distribution. Okay. It is an
Okay.
operating system compiled from components developed by various source projects and programmers. Each distribution includes the Linux kernel, the GNU, and the X server, which is for graphical desktop. Okay. Now, there are more than 600 distributions of Linux. I told you what distributions are, like different versions. Okay.
Yes.
Just as Mercedes has different kinds. Just as Windows have Windows 2007, Windows 2008, Windows 2010, Windows 11, Windows 97, Windows XP. So also Linux has different distributions. Okay, the popular ones are the one we list here. Red Hat, Enterprise Linux, Fedora, Debian, Ubuntu, OpenSUSE, and Linux Mint. And the one that we launched when we were using AWS, the one owned by AWS, Amazon Linux. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you with me? Hello.
Hello, sir. I'm with you.
All right. So these are
Yes.
the different distributions of Linux. Now, Linux have packages and package manager. The popular Linux packages are RPM and Debian. RPM means Red Hat Package Manager and the Debian Package Manager. And each distribution of Linux is under some packages. Okay. Now, Red Hat Enterprise Linux is using RPM package. Fedora is using RPM package. OpenSUSE is using RPM package. Okay. Debian is using Debian package. Ubuntu is using Debian package. Linux Mint is using Debian package. Okay. When we get to packages, I will explain this better as well. So how can you understand this? Let's say we have different cars, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Toyota, Volvo, all of that. Mercedes-Benz, we go to a mechanical shop that can repair Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz will not drive into a mechanical shop that works only on Toyota. All right. The
Yes.
same thing about packages. Each of these Linux distros, they will go to the packages that manages them. Okay.
Yeah.
There are different packages, but we'll focus on the major two, which is RPM, Red Hat Package Manager, and Debian Package Manager. So for Red Hat, for Fedora, and for OpenSUSE, even Amazon Linux, the one we launch on AWS, they are being managed by RPM. But for Debian, Ubuntu, and Linux Mint, they are being managed by Debian. Okay. So when I want to, just as we've been installing stuff on your Windows all this way, we've installed what's it called? Mobile Xterm, we've installed Terminus. If I want to do installation on Linux, it is different from on Windows. I will have to use their package installer to call them. So if the Linux I'm working with is the one under RPM, if I want to install, the right word is to use yum. If the Linux I'm running is under Debian, if I want to install, the right word is apt. Okay. But all of this, I just want you to understand. We'll go back again when we get into when we get into that part of Linux. Okay,
Yes.
so now let us begin to learn Linux operating systems properly. It is 2 minutes short of 3 hours. We are going to end the class here, and when we
Okay.
return on Wednesday, we'll now begin to learn from the command line interface, CLI. This is a command line interface. You know what I mean by CLI and GUI?
No.
Okay, so
Command line interface is the
yes,
CLI.
that's it, and that is it. Only thing you do here is command and instruction, input, output.
Mm.
Okay, you enter command. If it is the correct command, it gives you instruction. If it is not the correct command, it tells you command not found. Okay, this one here,
Yes.
where you can see different things, colorful pictures, you can click, you can copy, you can drag, you can check. This is the GUI, graphics user interface. Okay, so your Windows is basically a GUI operating system. Okay, but your
Yes.
Linux also have GUI, but it's not being commonly used. Linux is basically what? A command line operating system. Okay, so you know your Windows, we have folders. You can click, you can drag, you can do all of that. That is the GUI, graphics user interface. But on Linux, it is command line interface. All right.
Okay. Yes.
All right, so Mrs. Tukwe, we've come to the end of class today.
Okay, sir.
A little pep talk. This whole training, its success is hinged on practice. Okay,
Yeah.
so I will encourage you to practice a lot.
Okay, sir.
I know time is of essence in that country, but all the same, if you have registered, that means you had something you want to get from this kind of training. And I can tell you, IT is rewarding and it doesn't discriminate. It is available for only those who are available for it. I've trained more than 500 trainees, and the ones that have succeeded, that are on the job right now across the world, US, UK, everywhere, they are the ones that are determined to practice. So I encourage you, ma, to practice a lot. Don't
Okay.
allow class videos to accumulate. Don't say you understand when you have not understood. Ask questions, make me repeat, even when other persons join the class, because I don't know why Engineer King is doing this time. This is the first time he's going to be having one training. But they said 2 are coming, but I'm seeing 1 now. We used to have as much as 20 large classes. And I used to
Okay.
encourage everybody. Don't feel shy here. You have come to learn. So if you don't understand, please say no. I have, over the years, built a very long line of patience that trainees will need. I don't ever get impatient with training. If you don't understand, I will explain and explain until you do. Okay, because I know that's the best way to get value out of this kind of training. All right. So
Yeah.
I'll send you a
No
Google
problem.
form, which you
Okay.
will fill, is about less than 30 seconds to fill. Okay.
Okay.
And that is where I will get your email from that Google form, and I will tie this class video when it is ready to it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
classes will be on Mondays and Wednesdays, same time, 3 hours, 10 minutes break. All right.
Okay.
If I
Yes,
see
sir.
that we may not be able to cover up, we might have maybe 1 or 2 extra classes, but that one we'll see. If we are going at this pace, we'll be able to cover up. Except if I come to class and I ask you 1 or 2 things you're not able to answer, I'll be forced to go back and teach that thing until you're able to understand. That's my style.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you. If you have any
Mm,
question on the WhatsApp page where you are practicing, take a screenshot, post it, and I'll
okay.
answer your question. Okay, don't
Okay.
wait until the next class so that we don't use class to be answering questions. So if you have any questions while you are practicing, just take a snapshot, put it on the WhatsApp page, and then I'll take it up and
Okay.
answer you.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy the rest of the evening. Good
Yeah, you
night.
too.